Yo, people, what's going on? Back again with another footy talk. Saba, how's it going, man?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. How are you? You well?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad, man.
Good.
Yeah, we might as well get straight into your game, like, do you know what I mean? I'm guessing you would have watched it. To be fair, I've heard some decent things about the game, regardless of the scoreline. What did you make of it?
Mate, do you know what? Look, you know me. I'm very critical when I need to be critical. I'm not scared of saying when it's not good. Today was refreshing. First and foremost, I need people to understand that this was pre-season game one, first ever game under the new manager, and most of the people that started the game only came back to training last Wednesday. I wasn't expecting the football to be as good as what we saw. And it was the first time in about 4 years, Rants, that I've watched Spurs and enjoyed myself. It was really, really good. Pressing, attacking. We camped ourselves in their area for 90 in their half for 90 minutes. You can clearly see night and day in terms of styles from him and his predecessor. But the problem he's going to have, if we do not sign centre halves, we won't win games. So, and by the way, anyone who says it before people start saying it in the chat, not about enjoying losing, it's a friendly.
Bro, not only is it a friendly, but it's the first fucking game, of pre-season. Do you know what I'm saying? Pre-season doesn't mean shit. Do you know what I mean? It don't mean nothing. Like, it means absolutely nothing, bro. Like, pre-season is to gain fitness, bro. It's what you do when the games actually mean something. So the fact that they hadn't played together under the new manager, and they lost, so what, bro? Like, it's not about that.
Do you know the thing is, right, is, again, one thing you and I always talk about on here, Rants, is like this new age football fan versus the kind of old age football fan. The pre-season tours have never been about the results. The pre-season tours have been about fitness, togetherness, bedding new players in. If it's a new manager, it's about bedding in new ideas, process, ethos, structure.
Fact.
Fans now are like, they can't understand the difference from what I'm saying of, there was some really good football we've seen versus, oh my God, you're happy we lost. Of course, I'm not happy we lost, but what Spurs could have won today, Rants, 4-0.
Yeah,
right?
It doesn't mean anything.
We still need to go and buy 2 new centre-backs. We could lose today 4-0. We still need to go and buy 2 centre-backs. So for me, I don't care what the scoreline is. I don't care. What does it mean? When we start the season, we're on the same points, whether we win or lose every pre-season game. So listen, really good football. Honestly, some really good stuff if you get a chance to watch any of it back. Just players looking happy. Players like Basuma looking like the Basuma that we thought we were buying from Brighton. Solomon looked good. Solomon had a really, really good debut. It just looked different. It looked more energetic. Unfortunately, you can't make bad defenders good defenders, unfortunately. And that's where we are. So, look, lots of positives. But Levy's got to get his checkbook out and get Tapsoba, Van der Ven, whoever it is he's going to buy. We need them now.
Bro, you're going to buy them. You're going to buy them, though. Do you know what I mean? And the good thing is, about the result is that it doesn't allow you to gain a full sense of confidence in it, because preseason can be dangerous.
Yeah.
Because you can have a really good preseason, and not just as a team, players can have a really good season and preseason. I've seen it with like Andreas Pereira at Man United. That's why I called him the preseason Pirlo, because he always looked fucking unreal, in preseason, and then he was shit after that. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, you have to take preseason games for what they are, in it. Like, and that's what they are, brother. It's a workout, bro. Sometimes I almost prefer to not play any meaningful preseason games against any big names, because fans get so carried away. Like, in preseason, if we beat Barcelona 4-0, all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, like, we're gonna win the league. Like, it's like, bro, like, they weren't trying.
We've got them in a few weeks, and that's my worry, Rants, is people get it's look, the words for today, if you know those people who get one word and that's their word. My word today is hyperbolic, right? Spurs fans were like, oh my God, Postecoglou, not all Spurs fans, Postecoglou out. This isn't Celtic. And I'm like, what I just watched made me want to go and watch Spurs. Yeah. The guys had no new reinforcements at the back, but straight away, like they looked happy. The players looked happy playing for him. Even players that hadn't played well before, like the Celso came in, did some good bits. Perisic, funny enough, who wasn't put at left wing back, was played one of the forward three on the left. Funnily enough, he looked really good, whipping in some good crosses. You know, look, I think the problem is fans can't understand the difference between pre-season for building up togetherness and fitness versus, all right, we beat West Ham or lost to West Ham. Plus, West Ham, this was their third or fourth pre-season games. Spurs started, I think something like 8 of the 11 that started only came back to training on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And then flew to Australia Friday. Like it was, they're not fit. I don't care.
No, they're not.
All I care about, did I see enough that makes me think, yeah, we've got a progressive manager? Yeah, I did. So I don't care that we lost to West Ham. I care that I saw some good things.
100%. And it's not only are they not fit, they're not supposed to be fit.
No.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not supposed to be, bro. Like, this is what I'm saying. My guys go back to preseason today. My men's team go back to preseason today, and my women's team go back to preseason tomorrow. And it's like, we've obviously, because we're in the top league in the country, it's like for preseason, I don't really want to play many preseason friendlies because there's no point in it. Like, the way I see it is, we need to focus on implementing the style of play that we're going to have under the new manager that I've brought in. And also we need to work on our own fitness, bro. Like, if you make sure your own ducks are in a row, you ain't really got to worry about anyone else. Like, playing these friendly games and stuff like that, you don't get much out of them anyway. You don't really get that much out of the games other than quote unquote fitness. But it's like, I can play games at training within the players I've got, and everyone can get fitness. Because even in preseason now, they share the minutes. They do one half a certain team and then other half a certain team. So players only getting 45 minutes. You're better off playing 90 minutes amongst yourself sometimes than
I agree.
playing these silly games, bro. Like, they don't really mean
11 changes.
It's for money.
11 changes at half time, right?
It's just for money, Sabo.
Mate, I agree. Do you know what? Right, Rants, if you and I decided, right, that we were going to run a marathon in 4 months, and we said, right, let's start training today, I wouldn't expect that the moment I leave my front door for training session 1 that I can run 26 miles, right? That's what pre-season is building up to. Pre-season, you're not meant to be 100% fit. You come back as long as the players aren't in these terrible conditions. But I thought they worked really hard today. What we were very good at, we were brilliant, was off the ball, right? Off the ball, the desire to win the ball back. Under Conte, when we lost the ball, which was a lot, it was all fall back into place, all 10 behind the ball. This was hunting in packs. You could see it immediately. The problem was the 3 goals we conceded. West Ham did 3 things in the game, Rants. 3 things. 2 crosses into our box, which we can't defend crosses. And they scored 2 headers. And the third one was 1 through ball. Davinson Sanchez made an absolute mess of it because we played a high line and they go through and score. Other than that, we were so comfortable. It was a really good performance. And that is all I care about. We've got Leicester the next week. The weekend. Then we've got a couple more friendlies. Keep doing it. This is the first time these guys are playing under the new manager. And I think for those fans in the chat and in out there on the internet that keep coming going, oh my God, Spurs lost. They don't realize what we've had to watch for the last 4 years. Right? These players have had it drilled into them, Rants, that football isn't about fun. Football is not about possession. Football isn't about attacking. They've had it drilled into them, to play the Conte way. Now, Postecoglou's got to undrill it out of them, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and it seems like he's doing it. Like, someone said 72% possession for Spurs, and you know what it is? Like I've always said, with any manager, like, the reason why I'm not of this notion that managers need to be given time is because a good manager, you can see what they're trying to do. Even if the results do not show you right away that there's improvement, the eye test tells you everything you need to know. I said the same thing about Liverpool and Klopp here. Even though I remember when Klopp first come in and they were doing the win percentage and it was worse than Brendan Rodgers, and they were saying, "Oh, like he's just another Brendan Rodgers." But you could see, even though they weren't winning games, you could see the way they were playing, that something had been implemented. Some teams, you look at them, you watch them play, and you have a fair idea the kind of stuff they're doing in training because they're replicating something different to what you're used to seeing, innit? And if you're seeing that, that's what, in my opinion, affords a manager time. When I'm seeing the changes like that, it's not necessarily the results, because the results are going to come.
Yeah, I think the funny thing is, like, again, I think there's a lot of people in the chat that are talking that didn't see the game. Like, again, I'm hearing, this game goes to show that if Kane leaves, we're in trouble. Well, both goals came when Harry Kane wasn't on the pitch.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, look, by the way, I'm not saying if he goes, oh yeah, great, we're much better. But, look, at the end of the day, we created, I think we had something like 29 shots in the game, Rants. Like, unfortunately, Richarlison can't finish his dinner. Yeah. But we were superior in every way. We've just got to. Two defenders could completely change us, Rants, from being an 8th place team to a 4th place team. And I mean that. Two proper centre-backs could transform us from here to there. And people will laugh at me, but Spurs fans know it. Spurs fans who watch Romero again, Port Tanganga can't defend. Regulon couldn't defend. Porro is not a defender. So, look, it's pre-season. I honestly won't lose a second's sleep that we lost to West Ham. I'm just pleased I managed to see some football for the first time in about 4 years for Spurs players. They looked happy. Happy.
There you go. Super chat. What are you thinking of this?
Do you know what, right? He came on second half, and I didn't realize he was so tall, to be honest, right? So I didn't realize he was so tall. He looked powerful. Listen, he was good going down the left. He was dangerous. He was joining in, getting crosses into the box, coming and linking up play. Looks a really good athlete. Look, Rants, you know me. I'm not one that's going to go, oh my God, this is the next Roberto Carlos. This is a worldie. He showed promise. Now we've got to ease him in. Now give him some time. Realize he's still a young lad coming from a new country. But he did look. He looked promising. But again, game 1 pre-season. Right? Consistency is key. But I liked what I saw.
100%. And which leads you lot can have Maguire. Someone said, listen, I'm saying I did this earlier with the Chelsea fans, and I did it for you guys as well. Like, Harry Maguire is available for £40 million. I'm saying, ever present in the England team. I think it's a good investment for Chelsea or Tottenham. I'll be completely honest.
Do you know why it wouldn't work though? If anything ever showed why it wouldn't work, it was how we played today. Postecoglou played with a very, very high line.
Yeah.
He played with a really high line, Rants. A back 4, high line. This guy is never, ever going to be able to play in that formation because it's going to rely on a lot of covering from through balls. We saw that today. The ball was fed through.
Sanchez. He's not a modern day centre.
No.
Like, he's
back three. I reckon West Ham, him, Zuma, and Agurd.
Yeah.
Because what I saw today from West Ham, the most negative football team I think I've seen. I mean, I've watched Spurs, but West Ham had no interest, right?
Yeah, they don't have the security blanket of Declan Rice now as well, which means, they're going to be even more negative.
Yeah, but what they were brilliant at was clearing the ball. Headers, every crosses that came into the box, they were brilliant at that. And I think Maguire fits right in. For me, he should go there.
And they want him, to be fair. They want him. And this thing, you see Lo Celso, I've you know what's funny? I've always been a fan of his, and I don't know. A lot of Tottenham fans aren't a fan of him, but I think in the right system, he's a player. Like, he's got the attributes. Like, I saw what Pochettino's seen in him, and he's got the tenacity, and he's technically very good as well. Like, what did you make of his performance today? Because he's a player I like, Like, my brother used to get pissed, and my brother used to say, "Yo, it's like he only plays internationally, and he never turns up for Tottenham." But like, I think he's a good player.
Do you know what, Rants? I'll say the same thing I said to whatever channel I was on yesterday. said the problem with Spurs signings for the last 4 or 5 years is where we haven't really had a philosophy and an ethos. When you're signing these players, there's not really been a, like when Man City sign a player or Arsenal, you go, you're going to play there. And you go, you fit. I get it.
They fit a profile.
Right. At Spurs, for years, it's been, where does that player, when we bought Ndombele, Lo Celso, Richard, where do they go? Lo Celso, to me, today was technically very good, showed some nice touches, finished his goal well. I think the problem he's going to have is, I think his best position is probably where Maddison's going to play.
In the hole.
In the hole. I can't see him as one of the two midfield. I don't think he's got the legs for it, if I'm brutally honest, because Basuma's going to be one of them. The guy next to him needs to be a bit more defensive minded. So if Lo Celso's happy with rotating, I think he might stay. I don't know. I wouldn't start him any day of the week over Maddison, though. I think he's
Maddison's
okay.
different.
Yeah, Maddison again today kept receiving the ball just in the pockets. And you could see the first thing he tried to do, Rants, was thread a ball, whether it was out wide, through to Kane. He wants to make things happen. He kept hold of the ball, drew fouls, got us a couple of free kicks, 25, 30 yards out. We haven't had that. And unfortunately, I think that is where that's where Lo Celso played when he came on. I just don't know, in a year where we've not got Europe, will Lo Celso get enough game time in that position? I don't know. Big Ange will make the decision, but I don't know. He's not the worst player, but it's been 4 years of not really understanding what he is, if I'm honest.
Yeah. This is, you know what? It's funny when I see a lot of problems with players in the modern game. It tends to be that, innit? It's like football's evolving, and it's constantly evolving, and it's almost evolving to a point where players are finding that their position doesn't really exist in football no more. Do you know what I mean? Or their mode of footballer doesn't really exist in football anymore. Like the more I watch the game, it's like there's so many good players, that would have been okay, like even 5 years ago. And now it's like, where do they play? Even when you look at Ndombele, it's like he's such a good footballer, but it's like with the demands of modern football, that where do you play him? Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's like football is so system based now more than it's ever been. It's almost like, where do you play him now, and what kind of team do you play him in, and who do you need to play with him to get the best out of him? Like there's so many allowances that need to be made for players now. It's almost like they're just homeless, bro. Like this is what it is. Like man said, there's no positions in football right now. It's kind of like when you look at football now, you don't really see many specialists unless they're elite. Like the average footballer is not a specialist. The average footballer is multifunctional. Like unless you're Erling Haaland and you're guaranteeing like 30-40 goals a season, no system's allowing you to play like him. There's not teams that are allowing you to not get involved in build up, not really press, not really do that. Like you have to earn the right to play like that. Back in the day, there were loads of number 9s and we just knew they were fox in the box. Like we just knew that's what their job was. But now it's like, in order to be allowed to do that, you have to be an absolute anomaly. Like you just got to run your bollocks off now, bruv. Like if you're a striker, scoring goals are almost secondary now for centre forwards.
I think, look, there's a lot to be said for this. I think a lot of the time I hear comments like, he's a baller, he's talented, he's this. That's great.
Yeah.
But the first thing I want to know, this is the elite level of football. We're not talking about a five-a-side pitch, right? So when you get a player like Ndombele, cool. All right, you are talented. You're a baller. Whatever word people want to use, cool. Where do you fit in? So if Spurs right now, we're going to play, I mean, you can call it a three-man midfield if you want, with Maddison the furthest forward, Basuma as your box-to-box midfielder. Does Ndombele sit and do the disciplined defensive mopping up route? No, that's not his game. Is he the number 10? No, I don't believe that's his game. I don't believe that's ever been his game. Is he box to box? No, he's not got the engine for that. I don't quite know. It's a shame because there is a good technical footballer there, but I don't know where he suits in formations. I truly don't, unless you're playing in a really slow league where you can literally sit back as a kind of deep line playmaker that you don't want defending. You just want him picking up the ball and starting like as a quarterback. I don't know how this guy can justify his position in a team.
But this is it. Like, where would you play him? Like, stylistically, the way you play, he can't play as the 10 because that's too high up and he hasn't got the mobility. And it's like, if you play him in the pivot, then you need to play him next to someone that's very defensively disciplined. And even then, it's probably deeper than he would want to play. So, yeah, it's mad. It's almost, he's another one where it's like, I feel like the modern game's just evolved past him playing. Like, do you know what I mean? It's a weird one, man. Like, and you're seeing it with so many players. You're seeing it with so many players now. Like, even I see a thing with Thiago the other day, and he was saying that like his strength's not running. Like, his strength is literally just like ticking the game over and moving, like, and just keeping the game going. But players like that don't really exist no more. Like,
no, they don't. I mean, someone in your chat has said, "Oh, Jose played him in a 10 and he cooked." I can assure you, having seen every Spurs game for like the last however many decades, he's never cooked, if that's the phrase we're going to use in a Tottenham shirt. He might have had some games where he didn't look terrible, but he never really played in the hole and never really created anything. And I don't know what this means anymore. By cooking, you mean he might have made an assist, but yeah, I don't know what he is. Look, he's a little bit like Havertz, not in the same position, but he's another one. I look at Havertz. I don't think he's the worst player in the world, but I go, where do I play you?
He's not good enough at anything to justify being played anywhere.
Right. Are you one of my centre mids? No, you're not a centre mid. Are you an out number 10? No, I don't think you are. Can you beat a man, or are you quick enough to go and play in one of the wide roles? No. False 9, maybe, if you've got a couple of really good goal scoring midfielders going beyond. But I don't know. There seems to be a lot of these footballers now that don't really have a position in the game. Yeah. Back when it was 4-4-2, it was easier, right? You were either a centre mid or you weren't.
That's it.
There was none of this 6, 8, 10. It was, you're a centre mid, right? You get back and you get forward.
Yeah, you do both, innit? That's it. And if your guy goes, you stay, innit? Like, it's just one of them ones. You lot take turns going forward. Like,
yeah. When the other team were attacking us, do you remember, like in a 4-4-2, when the other team were attacking you, you didn't just see one centre mid go, "Oh no, I'm the attacking centre mid. I don't track back." Yeah. They both went, "Oh, hang on." But
yeah, but they had to. Do you know what I mean? Both wide players got back because they knew they had to. You know what I'm saying? And it was just one of them ones where like everyone understood, that they had a responsibility. And now it's kind of everyone's kind of like, yeah, well, I'm this and I'm that. But it's like in the modern game, that's disappearing again. And it's more like everyone does everything now. Do you know what I'm saying? And that definitely kills the specialists. And also that almost takes the art out of the game. Do you know what I mean? It almost takes the art out of the game now, because it's like everyone's doing everything now. There's zero specialists. Like there's no space in the game for real special players anymore. Like unless they're unbelievable athletes. Do you know what I'm saying? Like Mbappe's special, but Mbappe's special because he's got freakish genetics. That's why he's special. He's not special with the ball at his feet like Dennis Bergkamp was, or Thierry Henry was. He's not special with the ball at his feet. He's special because he can pick up the ball and he can kick it 10 yards and absolutely leave you in the dust, innit? Like, and that what makes him special is not what made other players special, innit? And it's like, this is what the game is now. Like the
Nedveds.
Yes, an athlete's game.
The Nedveds, the Zidans, these people that just did what they did, and managers went, "All right, I know you're a maverick, but you're gonna make it happen." In this day and age, they'd be crucified for their running stats, for their the number of times they lose the ball in the final third because they're trying all these things. This is the problem with football now. It's become so detail orientated that you've lost that magic. Listen, I'm old school. If I was a manager, I'd want to make sure that someone in my team is a maverick. I want an out ball. I want someone that I know, hang on, give the ball to that guy. You know, could he lose it? Yeah. But sometimes he's just going to do that outrageous thing and you're 1-0 up. And that's kind of gone. I think that's
but even when the player does lose it, there's insurance policies in place for that. Do you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Like, I was supposed to be.
I was having a conversation with someone the other day about James Maddison. They said, I don't think he's as good as a player as you think you're getting, Sava. And I said, okay, well, look. I'm looking at his last 4 years of numbers. And in the Premier League, in the last 4 years, he's got just under 80 goal assist contributions in 160 games, which tells me that every other game, James Maddison contributes a goal or an assist. And this person turned around and said to me, yeah, but that doesn't account for the number of goals we concede because of him. And I said, hang on. I said, James Maddison is a number 10. Are you telling me that he has lost the ball so many times in the number 10 position and that the team went on to score was James Maddison's fault and there was no midfield behind that? There was no defense behind that. That's the world we're in, Rants. Yeah. You know what I mean? That is the world we're in, that a number 10 can lose the ball. People will go, oh, it's his fault. Well, hang on. What are my defenders doing?
Bro, what's the rest of your midfield doing? And that's what I mean. That just means you're not set up properly, innit? And also, it's how you lose the ball, innit? Because the thing is, that's why I would get annoyed with Bruno, because it's like, I don't have a problem with players losing the ball. I always have a problem with how players lose the ball and why they lose the ball. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if you lose the ball playing a very, very low percentage pass in a dangerous area, then it just boils my blood. And like, I even saw Pep Guardiola touched on that as well. And he was talking about the vulnerability of every team when they're attacking, because when you're attacking, that's the only time as a team you don't have structure. When you have the ball, when you don't have the ball, you have structure. When you do have the ball, you don't have structure. Players, you're a lot more reactive when you have the ball. Players run into the space that they see. So you're most vulnerable defensively when you have the ball. So where players give the ball away and how they give the ball away is very, very important.
Absolutely. Very important. Listen, I remember reading, I don't know if it was it Messi or Xavi? Someone said, like, you know, the secret of Barcelona's success, the team that basically won everything. And basically the team that provided Spain with everything to win all their tournaments as well.
Yeah.
And they said that there was a rule that if you lost the ball, you had 5 seconds to get it back.
Yeah, I think it's even less than that. I think it's like 3 seconds or something.
Yeah, something ridiculous. So that was the mindset of, I've lost it, go and get it. Then you get people like your Ndombeles that lose the ball, stand there and go, oh. And that's the difference, right? I'm not saying, by the way, these Mavericks don't have to have work rate, but you know, sorry, everyone's saying Bayern Munich at 18-0 up. Is that true?
Bro, I believe it. Do you know what I mean? Because, yo, listen, they're probably playing against some Division 3, like, goat herders, bro. And this is another reason why preseason is useless. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, 18-0, bro. Like I said, at the top, might as well play a match between yourselves. You get much more out of it. Like, who the fuck are they playing? Like, who are they playing?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm being an idiot. Half time, they are playing. Here we go. They are playing FC Rotak Agern.
See, what country is that from?
Let's have a look. I want to say Dutch.
Yeah, they're taking.
I think they might be German as well. Yeah. But it's 18-0. They won last time they played them. They won 23-0.
You see what I mean? Like, what is that? Like, bro, that's not even, bro. Like, that is not even, exercise, because it's like when you're playing against a team that's shit, you're preserving energy because it's too easy. It's too easy.
Yeah. No, listen, I agree.
It's half time and it's 18-0. That means they scored with every attack they had.
I mean, you're talking about a goal just under every 2 minutes, right?
Bro, it's some joke thing, bro. It's a goal every 2 minutes, bro. Like, just, it's a goal every 2 minutes, like 2.2 minutes or some shit like that. That's ridiculous.
They don't need Harry Kane, you see. They're banging in 18 goals a game without him. They don't need him.
I said it's a local team. They can only be playing against them, yeah, maybe for like charity or something. If it's a local team and they're just giving them money, but then, bro, like, just don't even play your full team then. Well, what's the point? 9th division team, a man said. That's some joke thing, bro. That they're playing a Sunday league team.
Let's see who scored. Musiala, Nabry, Davis, Nabry, Musiala.
Bruv, look at them playing their full team. Like, bro, these players are getting nothing out of this.
I think Musiala's got 5 or 6.
That's wild, bro. Like, but it's disgraceful, isn't it?
Play the kids, man. Play the kids if you're going to play that sort of 9th division team.
They're playing against an amateur team and smashing them, bro. Like, it's like the players are getting nothing out of this. Like, they literally, like I said, they'll get a better game literally playing in training, splitting the squad in half and putting 2 11s out there.
Yeah, mate, absolutely. Listen, I get it. If it's to help this local club make some money or whatever it might be.
Yeah, but cool. But play your second team.
Yeah,
and like, mix it in, bruv. You know, 18-0 at half time, bruv.
Yeah, Musiala and Tell both got 5. Stat padding merchants, as people call them.
Horrible, man.
But yeah, listen, I'm of this opinion that, you know, I tell you what, Spurs. Do you remember Spurs were managed by One Day Ramos?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. During he came in mid-season, won us a League Cup in 2008, last manager to win a cup for Spurs, believe it or not. And in the pre-season, we played like 6 or 7 games, and we battered everyone. Rants. We battered Roma about 7-1. We won 5-0 against Schalke or something. We battered everyone. And I remember all the fans going, "Oh my God, we are amazing. We are amazing. We are going into this league." Do you know what happened in the first 8 games of the next league season? Right? We took 2 points from 8 games. We're bottom of the league. Ramos got sacked and Harry Redknapp came in, right? And this is why I can't take it seriously when people want to panic from pre-season results. Yep. I don't know what it means. Last year, you remember the famous pictures and videos of Conte making the players do the bleep test. Do you remember? Mm-hmm. And everyone going, "Oh my God, this guy, look at him. He's whipping them into shape." Yeah. How did that work out? Do you know what I mean? It's like, I don't give it any credence. Tactically, look at the tactics, look at the fitness. Spurs.
Bro, like, at the end of the day, it's the first game. You lot can be happy enough with that. Like, if I was you, I wouldn't even give a shit. I'll be real. Like, it's not that deep. It's not that deep. Do you know what I mean? You just got to take the positives out of the performance, which clearly there were positives, and the results don't mean anything. They don't mean anything. Big up everyone inside. Smash that like button. We got over 1,000 in here. We need them 600 likes. We're only on 350. Get them up. You guys seen that United announced Johnny Evans coming back to the club.
Is it just for pre-season?
Nah, I don't think so. Because they're saying that he's joining the tour. I think he's a good signing to replace Harry Maguire. If we got Johnny Evans on a free to replace Harry Maguire, who doesn't play anyway, and he's better than Harry Maguire, it's good business.
Look, you know what? This first got sent through to me on a Spurs WhatsApp group, and someone just put, "Lol, look at the state of Man United." And my first message back was, "Lol, he'd walk into Spurs' team." He would. Like, what do you mean? I was like, let's not be laughing at other teams. Yeah, I wasn't sure. Somebody said it was for pre-season. Somebody said it was a 3 month. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but why are you doing this? What's the need? You've got what? Martinez, Lindelof, Varane as your first 3. Is that right?
Right.
And then Maguire's number 4.
Luke Shaw's ahead of Maguire at centre back as well. You know what I mean? So,
right. Okay.
Maguire's surplus to requirement, so Maguire's not going to play. And the thing is, they said the Johnny Evans thing is short term, but they said the same thing about Tom Heaton, and he's still here. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of them things where Evans could come in just for pre-season, do all right, and the manager say, "Oh, you know what? I reckon they'll probably give him a coaching job at the club because he's around that age, innit? So they probably say, you know what, he's maybe got a season left in him, and then maybe he goes on to coach or something like that. They could just use him for a stopgap for the season, and then we bring in another centre half next summer, because we're not in urgent need to replace Harry Maguire because he doesn't play anyway.
Yeah, let's be fair. As long as I always think with signings like that, as long as it's not detracting. Distracting. I suppose both work from your real issues. Then you're fine. And at the moment, you just sorted out your first issue with the keeper. You're today a bid has gone in or about to go in for Rasmus Højlund, who's your striking option, and Amrabat as well is on the list. If you get those three in and Johnny Evans and don't lose anybody else, I mean, would you be happy with that? Is that a good window? Yeah,
I would. I think it's a good window because in terms of strikers, apart from Harry Kane, there's no one that I want more than Højlund. Like no one, because it's like there's no one out there. Like when you look at the market, I look at the profile of Højlund. He ticks all the boxes. He's tall, he's big in stature, he's got good ball control, he's got good enough acceleration, and he's got a good instinct for putting the ball in the net. Like he's got all the attributes that you would want, yeah, as a young forward. Fair enough, he's not I wouldn't say that he's a proven goal scorer, but there are not many proven goal scorers in the world of football right now. And if there are, they're costing 200 mil, all of them. So
yeah, it's mad.
So who cares?
I just think when you look at it now, I was having this chat with Kaz from Never a Foul yesterday, and you said you've got Balogun being talked about at 50 million. You've got
wild,
Rasmus Højlund being talked about.
He meant to go
60,
to Italy or something like that, Balogun.
Yeah, to Inter Milan. You think he's had one decent season on loan in France. You got Rasmus Højlund being quoted at 60 to 70. People are quoting Evan Ferguson of Brighton at 60 to 70, and he's played about 15 first-team games. Osserman, who's had one really good year for me, if I'm brutally honest, being quoted at 130 to 40 million. The market, strikers cost more than ever, but are worse than ever.
Yeah, that's it.
It's madness. 50 million used to get you
Hernan Crespo, it used to get you Andrei Shevchenko. It used to get you guys like proper strikers.
What did you pay for Ruud van Nistelrooy back in the day?
30 million or something like that for Ruud.
Do you remember, for 30 million pounds used to get you a Ruud van Nistelrooy who was a goal machine.
Yeah.
And now we're talking about players that haven't ever had seasons where they hit double figures going at 60 to 70 million.
Yeah.
Madness. No wonder Daniel Levy wants 120 million for Harry Kane.
Yeah, well, of course. And he's well within his right to ask for that. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, this is what it is. You got to think, the market dictates the market, innit?
Yeah, of course.
And Jack went for 100 mil to City, and then Rice has gone 105 mil to Arsenal. So Harry Kane's worth more than that by default, even if he's in his last year. It doesn't matter how long, bro. It's how much is the player worth. Like Harry Kane's worth more than both of them. So Harry Kane's not worth any less than about 120, 130 if we're being really honest, innit?
But do you know what we were talking about yesterday was nowadays, though, Rants, you're not buying proven. Nowadays, everyone's buying potential. And some of them will soar. Some of them will fly and you go, whoa, that was a great investment. Some of them won't. And that's the thing with young players. Some players get better. Some players don't. And unfortunately, that is what we're seeing in the market. It's what we saw Enzo Fernandez, what we saw with Mudryk. People talking about if Levi Colwill goes at 60 million. The guys had 17 games on loan at Brighton.
No one's really. Yeah, like he's still got it all to prove. Like
it's mad. But listen, it used to be if you were getting youth, if you were going for youth players, the fee would be like 5 or 6 million. It would be like we spent a big chunk of money. We spent 8 million on this unknown kid from Preston, and people will go, "Oh, that's a lot." Now these guys are like, look at this Alex Scott at Bristol City. He's a good player. I've seen him play last year. He's a very good player. Like getting bids knocked back by Bristol City of like 22 to 25 million. Like gone back in the day, Bristol City would have gone 20, 25 million. Yes, like
They'd
that
have said,
keeps us
"Yo,
afloat.
you can have a stand at the stadium for that." You know what I'm saying, bro?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's crazy.
By the way, top player, by the way, that I really, for me, I think he's going to be the next Maddison stroke Grealish. But I'm just using these players as an example of how much everyone is so overrated now, and clubs know they can hold you to ransom.
Yeah.
Caicedo, like back in the day, if Chelsea had whacked down 70 million for Caicedo, yeah, fans would be wetting themselves going, 70 million, get him. Now it's like, oh, we won't accept anything less than 100. Like, whoa. Like, whoa, what are you doing
but the
for
thing is,
100 million?
again, because Declan Rice has gone for 105, yeah, they can ask for 80, 90 million for him, because Caicedo, yeah, in my opinion, is better and he's more versatile. Like, Caicedo played right back against us and was absolutely unbelievable. Do you know what I mean? He can play in midfield, he can play in defense. Like, you're signing a very intelligent and very multifunctional player for that money. Like, and his versatility increases his value to the team. Because as a manager, if you've got a center mid that yo, he can do a job at right back for me, if I need him to do a job there, like, that increases his value to you. So I don't know.
Absolutely. It's just funny. Like, some people in the chat are saying it tongue in cheek, but it's also very true. Like, if a player has a good 15, 20 games at the end of the season and scores 8 or 9 goals, suddenly everyone goes, oh my God, this guy's a generational talent. Quickly, 80 million, buy him, go. And it's sort of like, sorry, what? Like, who? What? Like, it's absolutely balmy. But I don't think it can. Sorry, someone's put a good point in the chat. I'd like, if we can talk about that. Is that all right?
No, go for it, bro. That's why the chat's there. Yeah. Let's go.
So Chelsea 101 said, yo, Rants and Sava, what you think of Paulinho from Fulham?
Now, I think he's good.
This is a really interesting one, because you've got a guy that's 20, I think they bought him for 24 million, 25 million euros last year, or pounds, or whatever it was. And now it's like, normally, so if somebody came in and went, there's 50 million, you'd go, oh, we've doubled our money in a year. Now clubs are going 80. And listen, I think he's a top DM. I would absolutely wet myself if he joined Tottenham and sat in front of our back four. But when people are talking about 80 million pounds for a player who's had one good year in the Premier League, I'm not saying he hasn't played well before, but the world's gone. It's gone balmy. It can't keep going like this, can it, Rans?
It can.
Can't.
It can. It will? I think what will happen is, eventually, everything will come to a standstill, and they'll either have to employ either a cap, or you're gonna see a growing trend in players doing what Harry Kane's doing and not signing contracts. And I think I think it's more gonna go that way. It's more going to go that way, I think. And Arsene Wenger touched on it not too long ago. I think he said, that because of the price of the transfer fees, you're going to see a growing trend in players not signing contracts and just running down and moving on a free until it changes. Because players are going to start to see now that, you know what, if you're a good footballer, and you bet on yourself, why are you signing a new contract? Like, even Mbappe, like, when he signed at PSG, he only signed like an extra 2 seasons or something like that. He didn't sign a long contract. You're going to start seeing a growing trend of players saying, you know what, I'm only signing 2-year deals.
No, mate, you're bang on, because the thing is as well, what players are going to start to realize is, I'm a hostage. Now, I know that sounds weird, because these are very well paid sportsmen.
But think about it like a job. It is a hostage, bro.
It
like,
is.
None of you lot would go into a job and sign a 5-year deal. You just wouldn't do it. Like, I'm gonna stay for as long as I'm fucking happy. It might be
got a 1-month notice period.
Yeah, it might be 6 weeks, it might be 6 months, it might be 6 years, but it's my prerogative. Like, do you know what I mean?
Can you imagine? Can you imagine if, like, Harry Kane had a 1-month notice period? I'm handing it in. I leave on the 18th of August.
That's what I'm saying. Be like, you know what, guys, it was fun. Do you know what I mean? Like, bro, this is what it is, bro. Imagine you had a fucking job there, like, I don't know, like in the mechanic or something, and they were like, all right, cool, like, you can leave when when we allow you to leave, or you can only leave when we find your replacement. No, bro. Like, I'm leaving when I want to leave, bro. Like, I'm here as long as I want to be here. Do you know what I mean? These guys will literally be unhappy, have offers on the table, and not be able to go. Imagine you get headhunted by another company.
Yeah.
They offer you 3 times the salary you're on, but then your job's going to tell you, nah, you can't go.
Yeah. What do you mean, no? 4 years.
What do you mean, no? Like, nah, that's crazy. I'm leaving.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely crazy. I mean, the thing is as well, I mean, as a footballer, I know they all rate themselves and they have to have a certain level of confidence. But if I'm Kane, I always use the Kane example because he's going to be the biggest story this window. I don't care what anyone says. It's not me. It's not me being Spurs. He's going to be the biggest story until he either goes or signs a contract. If I'm Harry Kane and I'm 30 years of age and I want to win trophies, I'm going into I'm going into the office and going, Daniel, come on, man. I've given you everything. 120 million. I'm not worth that. Like, please, like, I rate myself, but 120, you've got to lower my. I know, by the way, this is meant to be done up front. This is meant to be done at contract stage. Hey, listen, I'm going to sign a 5-year deal, but I need you to put in the contract. If anyone comes in for me and the number starts with 1 and it's above 20 million, right? I'm going. If it says 100, I'm going. But it is, look, I don't know. It all came out today again. Like, Harry Kane, he's not fit. Like, he only joined training on Wednesday.
Yeah, but Harry Kane always starts the season slowly anyway. He's never fit at the beginning. You know what I mean? He has a proper holiday. He's got a big family. Like, he's outside, bro. He's chilling. Yeah,
for sure. But already the noises were, oh, I don't know. He didn't look like he wanted to be here. Or he looked like a bloke playing to leave. And you're like, hang on. He didn't really do anything wrong. He snatched at a few opportunities. He just looks like a bloke playing his first pre-season game. He just didn't. But I can't see him leaving. The more and more this goes on, I can't see him leaving.
He's not going, man, and he's not fit. You know what I'm saying? I reckon if he was going Bayern Munich as well, like, I don't know, I feel like he'd be fitter in it. It's just one of them ones. I think Kane's comfortable. I think Kane's been comfortable for a long time, and I think that he just needs to leave on a free, innit? I think him leaving on a free is going to start a trend of loads of footballers doing the same thing. I think he's going to be the catalyst because that's going to be the biggest free agency in. Wait, when was the last free agency as big as Harry Kane? I couldn't tell you, mate.
I don't know. I mean, if you look at it, who's going to bid for him next year when he goes?
Everyone. Man United, Chelsea. Arsenal will talk to him, but he won't even pick up the phone, innit?
He won't go there, but he won't Munich.
Pick up the phone, but everyone will try. Bayern Munich will try. Real Madrid will try. Barcelona will try. All the biggest clubs in the world, will be on this guy's line, and he knows that. And also, he can demand 350, 400,000 because he's a free agent. It's his last contract as well, It's his last big contract. Look at his age. So when you look at his age, it's his last big contract. This is your last contract in your prime. From the age of 29 onwards, if you sign a contract, in your head, it's your last contract.
I'm asking for $500,000, if I'm honest.
100%, bro.
I'm starting a bidding war.
CR7 was on 500,000 a week at Man United. Harry Kane can say, give me a 3-year deal, 500,000. And everyone's paying that, bro, because if I'm buying him for 120 million, bro.
Yeah. If I'm Kane's agent and everyone's picking up the phone, I'd treat it like a poker game.
Yeah.
I'd be like, the buy-in to sit at the table is 500 grand a week minimum and a 20 million signing on fee.
Bro, you know what it is,
If you want to join in, agree to that first and foremost.
500K a week, over 3 years is 78 mil or something like that. That's still a lot cheaper than signing Harry Kane. Do you see what I'm trying to say? So even if, for argument's sake, even if we say, even if we say we want, let's do this. Even if we say, that we won 60 million, in like, we'll say 3-year contract, bro. That's crazy. You see what I'm saying, bro? Harry Kane's laughing. Man can get, he can get like 1.6 million a month for 3 years, and it only works out 50 million over 3 years. Like, bro, he's laughing, bro.
Yeah. As I've said before, if I take my Spurs hat off I'm doing nothing if I'm Harry Kane. Yeah. If I'm desperate to leave right now, I might be pushing those buttons and levers and trying to go to Bayern Munich. If I'm playing the long game, which, let's be fair, the long game is 38 games away. By the time we've played, your Spurs play 38 league games, right? A few cup games, 40, 45 more games for Tottenham Hotspur, and then I can go to Barcelona and place Lewandowski. Real Madrid. I mean, imagine this time next year, let this sink in, Rants. This time next year, Real Madrid could have Mbappe, what's his name? Vinicius Jr. and Harry Kane. Right? Let that sink in. They could have them. City could have Erling Haaland and Harry Kane.
Yeah. That won't happen. Thank God. You know what I'm saying? I'm done with football if that shit happens. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, and then you're looking at a Real Madrid team that's got Mbappe, Kane, and Vinicius Jr. as your front three, with Bellingham, Tchouaméni, and Camavinga as a midfield three.
That's wild, bro. Like, listen, I'm not even trying to think about that. I'll be real. Like, that's bullshit.
Yeah. But by the way, yeah, everyone, I know, yeah. Obviously, Rodrigo, Valverde, and I'm not knocking those players. I'm just saying, like, it's madness. Barcelona, the team today, apparently they're keeping tabs on it and want to offer next year because Lewandowski's not going to be around forever. And let's be fair, if someone says to you right now, right, you can go to Bayern Munich, who, yeah, they're one of the biggest clubs in the world, or stay around, get a 20 million signing on fee, 500 grand a week, and go to Barcelona or Real Madrid for the last 3-4 years of your career. I'm staying at Spurs for one more year.
Of course, like, bro, like makes more sense, yeah. It makes more sense for him to stay at Spurs for one more year and then have the football world at his feet, bro, because he's earned that right. Do you know what I'm saying? And he can get one step closer to that Premier League record as well. He's completely earned he's completely earned the right to choose where he plays. And yeah, like, why should he let Levy? Yeah, why should he leave the power to Levy to decide where his future lies, bro? If he doesn't want to go Bayern Munich, he shouldn't go.
No, I agree. It's going to be interesting to see how it pans out. I'm of the opinion that, like, lots of people say, "Oh, he should just come out and tell us." I don't think he needs to do anything.
No,
I don't think he has got an obligation to tell anyone anything. He's still He's still. If I was going to come out, I'd come out when the season starts and go, everyone wants to hear from me. I'm still here. I'm here. That's all I'd say. I'm here. Yeah.
That's it, bro. He doesn't owe no one an explanation. It's his future. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. But I think it will be interesting once you get to the last 3 weeks of the window. If Kane has we don't know. If Kane has told him, I have no interest in signing, I then wonder, does it change phone calls to these clubs going, all right, 90 and he's yours? I don't know. I don't know, but it'll be very interesting to see.
Oh, for sure. I think that Harry Kane stays for another year, and then, boy, I don't know. I hope United do what United always do, and they go get him. Do you know what I mean? I hope they do.
Yeah. By the way, can I ask, what's happening with your takeover? Like,
I don't know. I heard some whispers. I heard some whispers that things are getting done behind the scenes, and it is progressing. Like, nothing's being said, but it is progressing, innit? Like, there was rumors coming out saying, the Glazers are gonna decide if they're gonna. Nah. Like, from what I've heard, like, things are moving in the right direction. I don't know when it's going to be announced, but to be fair, I don't really care, because it's one of them things where the most important thing for me is that it gets done, innit? That's the most important thing, that it gets done, and that's it. Like, it gets done. It gets done within this quarter of the business year, the financial year. It gets done in this quarter, I believe. So, do you know what I mean? Like, it just is what it is, man. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. Like, United are still, we're still going after our transfer targets. Like, we're not waiting until the takeover comes to sign players.
Yeah.
Which is the most important thing. Like, we're going to get the players the manager wants.
If you get Amrabat, Højlund, and Onana without the takeover. That worries me for when you do get a takeover.
There you go. That's what I mean. And if we do get the takeover before the end of the season, then the Harry Kane thing's in the bag because he'll be the marquee signing. We'll pay the money in it. We'll pay that money. It just is what it is. And that number 9 shirt will be there because Martial's been there for long enough, bro. You'll have to vacate that shirt for Harry Kane. It's not a problem. So, like, it's just not a problem, bro. Like, the way I see it is we're still doing business now. So I'm less concerned about the sale because we're still doing business. If we weren't doing business right now, then I would be a lot more concerned. I don't really care about the takeover right now.
If there was like a transfer freeze or something whilst you were going through all this, and listen, I think you'll be fine. I think you're making good moves. I genuinely do. And I think the team you start this season with will look a mile away from what Ten Hag inherited. And you know, if you've got Amrabat in there alongside Casemiro, and you've got Mason Mount, Anthony, Højlund, Onana, Martinez, it's very different to what you took over.
It's different. You know what I mean? And this is what I mean. Like, slowly our team's starting to resemble a team that other teams are gonna have to start looking at and respecting, innit? Like, slowly. Like, the goalkeeper coming in is a big coup for us because he changes it. Like, and you've seen Pep Guardiola speak about our goalkeeper, and that's the biggest compliment that that you could see when Pep's saying, listen, like, this goalkeeper, this is not the kind of goalkeeper that you press, in it. Like, he completely changes the way you play. You can't press him aggressively because he breaks lines, this goalkeeper. So he's going to massively influence the style of play and the confidence at the back as well. So that's gonna kick us on. So I'm just happy, man. I'm happy with the direction that we're going, and also the positions that we're looking to replace are the positions that I believe are crucial for us. So yeah, man, it's decent.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I like it when people you know, I like it when people belittle people. And what I mean by that is, I remember when Ten Hag came in, a lot of people wrote this guy off. I think he's going to slowly but surely restore you to glory. I do. I don't know when. I'm not saying this year's your year, but I think that he's got all the hallmarks of I don't know, a manager that owns it. You know what I mean? A manager that doesn't look like a stopgap. He comes in, he owns everything. You know, this is my club. I'll give the press conference. I'll tell you what's happening. I don't know. There's something about him that I like, Ten Hag.
No, he's a good manager, man. He's a good manager. Like, I just need to see. I need to see how it all comes together now. Yeah, I mean, I need to see how it all comes together. But he's got the mentality to be the manager. He's made the big decisions. Got rid of Ronaldo's, got rid of De Gea, got rid of Maguire, stripped the armband. Like, the big decisions he's making, innit? So we just have to see how that all pans out in terms of how we're playing, man. So now I'm looking forward to it, man. 100%. So I don't know, we have to say. Big up everyone inside. Make sure you smash that like button. Savo, what's the rest of your week saying? You got anything to plug?
Yeah, I'm going live tonight in an hour, actually. My Spurs review show, which is my biggest show of the week, normally on Sunday nights. It's been moved to this week. So if anyone does care about Spurs, get over and watch the Spurs review. Should be lively after today's game. And then I do a live show every morning at 10, and then just sporadic transfer videos, different things with you and other fans and, you know, stuff. So it's all good. And if anyone did want to subscribe, we're edging towards the 7,500. We're slowly getting there. And then we're going for the 10. So if anyone would, then thank you in advance.
Love that, guys. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. The link is in the title, and make sure you smash that like button as well. We ain't even got 500 when we've had 1.2k here for most of the show. So let's get them likes up before you leave, guys. Big up everyone for tuning into the show, and we're back again tomorrow, people.